Welcome to Phil. Blah, blah. Welcome to Phil Phails. My name is Philip Jones, and today my guest is Serena Thiel.
That's me.
She's a comedian,
Yes.
and today Phil Phails at Opportunity. Wave at everybody. They live in all of these cameras. That
Okay.
one's yours. That's both of ours together, and that one's mine. Today, Phil Phails at Opportunity.
Okay.
Serena has had tremendous opportunity recently.
That's right.
Right? This show's going to be a hit because I am tugging on the coattails of two things.
Okay.
Kill Tony,
Yes.
which is huge, and Netflix.
Yes.
And you were part of both of those things at the same time.
That's right.
And we're going to find a little bit about that story, like what that was like for you, but also what it's like to, like, when opportunity comes and you're maybe caught with your pants down a little bit with it, right? Like,
Yeah.
like I'm not really totally prepared for it.
Yeah.
But here it is, tremendous, and I need to rise to the occasion for it.
Right.
Because that happens to probably everybody,
Hopefully.
right?
Yeah.
Opportunity doesn't come when you're like totally ready to go for it.
Right.
Kind of like bad weather or like, a flat tire.
Mm-hmm.
But you rise to the occasion, you probably learn from it, and how you respond to that event dictates what your life will be like moving forward.
Yeah.
No pressure, Serena.
No, lots of pressure. That's good. That's
Yeah.
what it should be. Yeah.
Kind of like how you make a diamond.
Right.
With a lot of pressure and time.
Right. Yes. Diamonds are forming right now.
And
Yeah.
Serena, watch. We're just going to be quiet and watch the diamonds form in Serena.
I'm highly pressurized right now.
Oh, man, I bet. So that's what we're going to talk about.
Cool.
We're going to talk about opportunity. Let's talk a little bit about the experience, and then I'll do Phil Phails 5 questions. Phil Phails 5 questions at Opportunity.
Okay.
What did you know it was a Netflix day?
Yes. So we knew that they were filming for Netflix. The way that Kill Tony works, all of us hopefuls gather in a bar in downtown Austin, and someone comes over the mic and announces who's been pulled from the bucket of names, and that person will go across the street into the back of the mothership and then onto the stage at the Mothership Comedy Club. And so there were cameras everywhere in the bar, which is atypical. So we knew that they were filming. We knew that it was for Netflix because the deal had been announced. It was, entertainment news. And it was only my second time trying to get on the show. So I was just doubtful that it was, I didn't really have any expectation that it would be me. I was like up in the bar, not even preparing for a while. I was just reading, like just kind of there for the experience of being like a hopeful, but not really expecting to get pulled. And they called my name over the mic and I said, "Oh shit." And am I not allowed to swear?
You can swear.
Okay. And I said it much more loudly and emphatically than that. And a lot of my friends around here were really excited. They, all were like cheering and screaming. And I have no memory of that. I couldn't even hear it. And I went and checked in, and they took me you walk through the alley, and then they took me into the mothership, and I waited for the last comic to finish, the guy who had gone up before me, and then walked out on stage. And up until that point, that was the biggest crowd I'd ever performed for when I walked out there. So the mothership big room holds, I think, 350 people. I could be wrong about that. But yeah, in the back, like backstage, they tell you not to try. They're like, your mic is quieter than everybody on the panel. So like, don't try to talk over anybody. Like once your minute is done, it goes back to being like their show. So just like try to let them, like all the panel lead, and just have fun out there. And I was like, okay. And so, yeah, I found out I was going to be on Netflix about 15 minutes before I walked out on stage to be on Netflix.
Wow.
Yeah. Yeah.
So before you mentioned that was your second time to be on Kill Tony, or to try to be on Kill Tony. Before that moment, what's your comedy career been like? What's your life in comedy up until that point?
So I've always loved comedy. I did a couple of open mics when I was in college, but yeah. but I didn't take it super seriously then. I was just kind of doing it for fun. And then in January of 2020, so right before the pandemic started, I was living in Bozeman, Montana, and started going to their weekly open mic. In March, obviously everything shut down, but in Montana, we got going again after the pandemic pretty quickly. So by May, our open mic was back up and running. And then in October of that year, my friend Alex Kaufman and I started our own open mic because we wanted there to be a second place to practice. And that open mic started to do well. We started to attract a couple of like regular audience members, which is pretty atypical for an event like that. We just like gathered a little bit of momentum. And then in August of 2021, we'd been running it, just shy of a year. And a small comedy club opened up in our town, and we moved. They invited us to come run their club open mic under our own name. So we moved our open mic to their club, and did that together for about another year. And also, just like I'd performed elsewhere in the state. And Alex Kaufman and I started producing our own comedy shows as well.
What is that? So up until then you did open mics in Bozeman.
Yes.
And then hosting your own open mic in Bozeman.
That's right.
And then the club was like, we really like what you're doing. You're bringing in folks. We want you to do that for our club.
Yes.
And you start going to other cities in Montana.
Yes.
And doing like one-offs.
Yeah. So we started, traveling around the state, both as performers, but also as our own production company. So we would go find a venue, and make a show happen, in that place, advertise it. And we also, got to host all of our own shows. So it was a way for us to build a stage time for ourselves.
And build an audience, I imagine.
Yes. Yeah. And, it was really difficult. We didn't know what we were doing. We were trying to like build a sailboat and sail it at the same time. Very stressful part of our lives. I think it's safe to speak for both of us on that. And we were also both working full time and like using our own money to fund the company. So it was a stressful thing to do, but also like really benefited in a lot of experience.
Because you're probably not making money.
No. Sometimes we did, and mostly we then just like slowly lost that money over the next couple of months.
Yeah.
Because it was important to us to pay our talent well. And
would that be the headliner or something?
Yes. Yeah. And we paid our like local feature and like opening acts. Because that was just important to us.
I want to make sure that your face is behind the mic.
Right.
Because sometimes it seems like you're like this, and I worry about the signal of that.
Got it. Okay. Is this going to still be close enough? Okay.
I'd just rather tell you now than have it be. Interesting. So that started in 2020, 21, 22?
2021. Yeah. Well, so we started the open mic in 2020, and then in 2021 moved it to the club, and then by late 2022 I had decided to leave to go on some like international travels. Just had some other things,
not comedy related.
Correct. Just felt called to do some other things for a while, and I took about a 2-year break from comedy, and found that I really missed it, and ended up in Austin in January of 2025, so this year. And I was
didn't come here for comedy?
Correct. I came here, actually, I was planning to go to Mexico to go rock climbing at El Potrero Chico for the winter. Yeah. So my truck is like packed full of rock climbing gear. That's what's in there. But I got really sick in Austin in like January, and I had this like nasty upper respiratory infection. And was sick for like 3 weeks. And during that time I was like, I've been really missing comedy. I'm falling a little bit out of love with climbing. I'm in one of the comedy capitals of the world right now. Like, maybe I should hear this as an opportunity to like go back to exploring this thing that I love and I
Mm-hmm.
found a lot of meaning from. So I decided to stay in Austin for a little while and see what the comedy scene was like. And then in late March, this crazy opportunity to go on Kill Tony happened.
What was the comedy scene like in Austin?
It's a really, I mean, it's a thriving scene. The scene here, in my opinion and from my experience, is it's like a well-rounded ecosystem. There are like very sort of rough, aggressive, like Kill Tony style people.
Roasting people that are mean.
Yes, but also just like mean, but like also sharp. Mean, but also like very good at that.
They're intelligent.
Yes. And there are also much more sort of gentler, more like sort of liberal spaces. And it's a fully well-rounded ecosystem. There's like every kind of comedy that you want to do, you can kind of explore. So there's like people who do stand up in a way that's very character focused and much more like modern clowning, very like they're doing bits all the time, and people who do very
like Casey Rocket type of stuff.
Yeah, or like I'm thinking of people that I just like know personally.
Yeah, okay. What's the other kind?
But there's also people who do stuff that's much more punchy, much more one-liners, much more people who do like story-based autobiographical stuff. Everything that you want to explore is like can find a market here, which I think is really cool. And I don't know, I think that Austin comedy is kind of developing a reputation for being really like edgy and bro heavy, and that has not been my experience of it.
That's just because of Joe Rogan.
I think so, yeah. But I think that piece of the culture actually contributes a lot to making everyone else thrive. Like it's like we need every style represented so that everything gets better. Because any scene that is too flooded with one style, that just it just stagnates.
Yeah. How long had you been back in the game before the Kill Tony thing?
So I started back up in January, and the filming was the last day of March. So like 2 months.
So you might have gotten up like 5 times? Like how many?
No, I mean I do more than one open mic a day usually.
Oh, you do?
Yes.
So you're doing like 14 a week?
Let's call it 10. Yeah.
10 a week.
Yeah.
So in those January, February, March, so 3 months, that's 90 days. So you'd maybe gone up 900 times.
No, that's not. That would be
10 a day for 90 days.
Not 10 a day, 10 a week.
10 a week. Thank you. So that'd be 10 a week, divide that by day. So it'd be somewhere around 2.5 a day. So that'd be, I'm not a mathematician. Okay.
Phil Phails at math.
If that hasn't been demonstrated. That's a lot of times though.
It's a fair number of mics.
180,
yes.
200 times.
Yeah, about that. Yeah. And then.
So that's a lot.
Yeah, it's a fair number. And those spots vary from like 3 to 5 minutes depending on where you are. And then I'd done a few like longer shows, like showcase spots. But yeah, not a lot of experience having recently come back from a long break.
Right. What is the longer sets like? Is it 3 to 5 minutes is like a shorter set?
Yes.
What's a longer one?
In terms of time? So like 7 to 10 minutes. Usually a booker will offer, they'll be like, you get like a 5-minute, a 7-minute, a 10-minute, 12-minute. Like they'll tell you kind of how much they want you to do. But I hadn't done anything longer than 10 minutes.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
This is probably a long time up there too.
It is and it isn't.
In my mind, I think like that's not a lot of time. Like 10 minutes can fly by. You can be in the bathroom for 10 minutes.
Right.
But I imagine up there underneath the light with all the people and the silence.
Yeah. Well, hopefully not, but yeah.
I mean, until you make something happen, right? Like there's.
Yeah, 10 minutes is a long time and it isn't. It's like, it's funny because you you get to a point where that starts to feel constricting even, you know, because you're like, oh, like once you're comfortable with that amount of time, you're like, oh, I have so much more to say, you know?
Right.
But 10 minutes is like, it's good for where I'm at right now. You know, it's like,
so you got a
great
tight
spot.
10.
Yeah, I guess. I hope so.
We might have more than 10, but
Yeah.
like what you bring to it.
Yeah. I feel like right now I feel like I have a lot of stuff that feels very half finished to me because I am in the process of improving so much as a writer. Like I'm improving really quickly right now. And so the things that I wrote 2 months ago feel unformed and bad to me now. Even though at the time I was like, oh, this is a completed joke.
Yeah.
Because I'm just now like that much better at writing, and I'm like, like, you know. So that has been, and that, I think that's just a product of being in a place now where I can practice so much more. I can improve so much faster than I ever could before. And I think that like will sort of, that will fade. That level, that rate of improvement will sort of
it's
drop
like
off,
a learning curve.
Yeah,
You've got
it's
a lot
like the
to learn,
beginners.
When you mentioned a bunch of types of comedians, which type are you?
Oh, interesting. I think that I do a lot of stuff that I don't do a lot of storytelling, but I do stuff that's very autobiographical and describes my thought process. And I think a lot of the stuff I'm working on right now is a little bit conceptual, which can sometimes be like a lot of conceptual stuff in a row can be like a little bit overwhelming for an audience, I feel.
Is this like external processing, and in showing people how you externally how you process the comedy lies in that? Is that what you mean by?
I think so. I think that I hope that some of the comedy lies in sort of admitting stuff that I think that is tough to say out loud. Like
being vulnerable.
Yes.
In a funny way.
Well, and I feel like a lot of people, like a lot of what I'm getting right now when I'm getting good laughs, they're very like, they're laughter of recognition.
Yeah.
Like it's like people see themselves in what I'm saying. And it's like, even if it's sort of like undignified to admit, you know, and there's something I think very freeing about that.
Yeah.
Hopefully.
It's almost like playing that game, Never Have I Ever.
Sure.
And you're really wanting to get everybody to raise their hand or take a drink, because we've all got that experience, but almost cringe a little bit as they do it.
Yeah.
Like, this is something that I never admit. This is never something I never speak to, but you're whispering to the shadows of my own kind of ego or behavior. Yeah.
Well, and there's something like, we're more willing to admit it if other people are as well. So like once someone is laughing about this, the rest of us can also.
You go first.
Yeah. But yeah.
I think sometimes when I think about doing comedy, I think, okay, it would have to start with what everybody does. And then I thought, well, poop humor is just, it's like the bottom of the barrel of comedy, but it's probably because everybody does it and we're all ashamed of it in some way, shape, or form. So then it's like, okay, you can't do that one. Or if you're going to do it, it needs to be like,
you have to do a good job.
New to the table. Yeah. And then what else?
Bringing something new to the table is a good way to have good poop jokes, actually.
Bringing something new to the table. But we need to get a drummer. I got these drumsticks. But yeah, you got to bring some. All right. So then you have probably sex or like your nether regions. More than once there's been a lady comedian come up and like, I'm going to talk about my vagina for a little bit. Not literally, but that's what ends up happening.
Sometimes literally, yeah.
But literally, I think literally. So then that's kind of this like, you know, this we're not supposed to talk about our vaginas or our
Sure.
dicks.
Sure.
So talking about it and what goes on up there
Yeah.
or down there can elicit like the ladies can be like, yeah, hell yeah, girl. I know about that because of mine. And the guys could be like, gross, you guys are gross or whatever,
Sure.
depending on how it goes. But finding something that's not those low-hanging fruits, imagine that's difficult.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I think in my experience, like, people are really used to hearing comedy about sex in particular, like
Yep.
because it used to be very forbidden to talk about, and now it's much more comfortable for a lot of us to talk about, especially like even casually. And so I think that it's not as exciting for an audience anymore.
You don't think?
Well,
Like, that's blue humor. Comedy was always a place where folks talked about sex.
right, but it's because it's always a place for that. It's like it's expected now, and so that's you mentioned like saying the quiet part out loud earlier. Like that stuff is no longer the quiet part now, because it's like it's so common in comedy, and also just like people talk about sex way more.
Just in
like
general.
really like frank,
our culture has changed,
has lifted some of that repression, and so it's like great, that's kind of a success, right? But it's also like, okay, now what's the quiet part now? And
so that's why we get folks like who is it was like, I was standing behind a cop in a coffee shop and a part of me thought like, I want to take his guns and start shooting up the place.
Sure.
Who was that did that? That was either Louis Kay or somebody. So now that's like a really crazy thought that people have.
Yeah. But it's like those kinds of things, if you, a lot of us have those moments of being like, wow, I could really destroy my life. And it's but that's the kind of thing you wouldn't readily admit unless somebody was giving you permission to admit it, right? Like it's
right.
Or that's what the comedian in that circumstance is doing, is giving you sort of a kind of permission to admit that like you've thought about this, and it's not something you are going to act on, but like you just have the instinct sometimes.
It's kind of like a life vertigo, right? Sure, if you're next to an edge, there's a party that wants to go over it. And the more you're aware of those edges as you walk about your life, the more you think we're all aware of those? I know I have them all the time. Crazy ideas that are like, you never do that.
Right. Yeah, I think
we all have
so.
them?
I think so. I think that the extent to which we're aware of them probably is variable, but I think that everybody,
or that they're more like the extent to where we can like Ghostbuster catch them.
Yeah, sure.
Right? The thought probably comes and goes, and we either like, oh man, that's crazy, and then we move on and ignore it or forget it. But the more you like say, oh shoot, that was gold.
Yeah.
Let me write that one down.
Well, so I know that I have those thoughts. And
you do.
So far, all the evidence suggests that I am fundamentally like everybody else.
Yeah, we're like
that. Like, I'm fundamentally just not that special.
We're not unique.
That's excellent news,
because
like it means that we can relate to each other.
The Fight Club, like we're the walking, talking
right.
poops of the world.
Walking, talking scum of the earth.
Yeah.
But
so that you can relate.
But that's actually really good news, because being unique is such a burden. It's such an insurmountable task and an unimaginable amount of work to be special and like the only one. And it's also incredibly lonely, and like nobody actually wants that. And you only want to be unique if you can be witnessed being unique and like praised for it somehow. And like that praise is affirmation and inclusion in the group, right? Like it's like being celebrated is having your role in this group like affirmed and acknowledged.
I mean, that's what we're all looking for.
Well, yeah, and so it's like you don't actually want to be the kind of unique where you can't relate to other people. Like it's even if you think you want that, it's like that would isolate you so thoroughly in
I mean, that's what you're moving towards. Do you know that's the end of this game though for you? I imagine for all of you'll be if you succeed at being a funny person.
Sure.
At least from all of the funny people that I've seen, and they have tremendous success. They find themselves at the top of a mountain that there's not many other people there.
Sure.
And they've found themselves to be extremely unique, even if in articulating their sameness.
Sure.
Like the ability to do it with skill and precision is the uniqueness.
Sure.
I mean, I guess I think we're all in culture, I'll just blanket statement, we're all trying to find a way to get what we want to do validated by our community, by our culture. And that could be like, oh, I'm a software engineer. Oh, I'm a sandwich artist. Right. Or, oh, I'm a comedian, or I make this TV show and have conversations. All of it, like the money's great, but the ikigai is the Japanese word for when your mission and your purpose overlaps with your career.
Cool.
Like your attention, your excitement overlaps with like what pays the bills.
Okay.
The ikigai is like following that passion and then finding a way to massage it into acknowledgement, praise from the world around you. And it has to be unique in some way, shape, or form, or you got to be someone who is willing to do it long enough to have an audience.
Sure.
Because if you got an audience on day one, everybody would do it and it wouldn't mean anything.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I suppose like you're probably right that
I'm saying you're unique.
Well, that is,
you liar.
I'm caught.
I mean,
this is a citizen's arrest.
Yeah.
Well,
or you will be eventually.
I think that's an interesting point.
That's why it's harder for people to make a follow-up album.
Sure.
That's why it's harder for rich-ass comedians to continue. That's why the Tom Seguras of the world fall off when they freak out on a flight agent or whatever.
Sure.
Because they've lost that relatability.
Right. Well, but what about someone like Larry David, right? Who's like,
oh my God, yeah.
He'll
like, never change.
Absolutely legendary, but also like he could follow Seinfeld with Curb, right? Which is like it's just another list of petty grievances against the world, and we all love it
in a more aggressive tone, right?
Well, because he's more cantankerous and
whatever
old.
softness came with Seinfeld was stripped away.
Well, it's Jerry being just affable, right? But like it's like, but like he just ended up with the time to like think about all of the things that make everyone crazy that we just decide to let it go because it's not worth fighting about. And he's like, I'm going to make a show about fighting about that.
Yeah, you know that anger management class? We're going to do all the things they told you not to do and film it.
But so I think it's possible. Like we have people who it's possible that they just they continue to make more content, for lack of a better word.
And it stays relevant and relatable.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah.
But I think that you're right that the like chasing fame or pursuing something that has the potential to make me famous is pursuing like that kind of isolated life, which is precisely the thing that like would lose me the ability to make art.
Make it more challenging.
Yes. Yeah.
You have to make it in a different way.
Yes. And I definitely do see like there are a lot of people who get really like big in the comedy world and then they're like, oh, now I just talk about the aftermath of being famous a lot, you know? And it's like Okay,
You
that's
got to
just
get
not that
addicted to a
interesting.
drug, and then you talk about the
Well,
aftermath of coming
yeah.
clean from the drug.
Or
John
the-
Mulaney.
yeah, re-addicted in his case, I guess.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know. I hope that that's not my fate, but I like worrying about that now is like very much the cart before the horse.
Yeah, you really just need
Like-
to focus on the craft,
Right.
and get good at delivering lines and getting laughs
Well,
and reading
yeah.
rooms.
Get good at writing and being on stage and like staying present and being able to be before we started, I talked a little bit about like surfing and like that's channeling that same kind of like presence that it requires to surf, like that is required of you if you're going to surf well. Like it's like responding to the wave that's actually here, not the one you imagined, not the one that you hoped for,
It's
not
mindfulness.
not the worst one that you've ever had, but like responding to the wave that is actually under your board. That's that same kind of like presence and mindfulness,
Like, this is
and
Ram Dass,
receptivity.
be here
Yes,
now.
yes.
Right? I mean, you're like, not the past, not the future, not my idea of what was going to occur, but
Right.
like,
Right.
I'm alive now.
Yeah.
What is here?
Yeah.
How do I meet this energy with a push or retreat or whatever would make it funny?
Yeah. And like, being able to be in that state of calm and like dropped in on stage, like that is my like focus right now. That's what I need to get to, because I know that I am funny, and I know that I am going to be able to continue to write jokes and find things to joke about. All of the evidence I have suggests that there will still be things to joke about tomorrow.
Yeah.
But what I need to focus on getting good at is being present. And so if I can stay focused on that, my hope is that like everything else will sort of be ancillary. It will be I'll be able to continue to move forward as long as I'm developing that skill, because that is what will make me a good performer.
Yeah. You're a lulz miner.
I'm sorry?
You're a lulz miner. I mine some right now.
I have never thought of myself that way.
Yeah.
Well.
Like,
yes, yeah.
Find them lulz.
That's a very millennial way to phrase that. That's very funny.
Am I millennial?
How old are you?
What? I'm 47.
Are you? Maybe not. You might be the tail end of Gen X.
Gen X, something like that. How old are you?
I'm 30.
Okay, so you're.
I
don't know generational names. Okay?
I'm the last of the millennials. I'm the very last of them.
I'm not clued into all those. I know what Riz is, though.
Nice.
Because I've got young children.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
I thought you were gonna say because you got some, and I was like, hell yeah.
Yeah, baby. I got mad. They call me the Grizzly Bear around the TV station.
The TV station, to be clear, is your house.
Yeah.
I saw that written on the mirror.
True.
Is that
yeah. Live? What is it? On air? I got that.
Grizzly Bear.
Let's do it. How do you feel about the minute that you had for Kill Tony?
The one that's already out.
The one that's on that Netflix.
I love it. I love all three of those jokes. The one thing that I sort of regret about it is that they're not connected to each other in any way.
Which jokes were they? Can you remind me?
Sure.
I watched it once and I was like, that's my friend from yoga class and handstand class.
Yeah.
I can't wait to say that I saw her. And I just got really excited. And I think whatever you did on there didn't really impact me too much.
Cool.
Just like
that's great.
seeing
That's
your
great
friend.
feedback.
Oh yeah. Note to everybody, I've been doing yoga with Serena and doing handstand class on the weekly.
That's right.
So that's where I know her from.
Yes, we go to the same gym.
What were the jokes?
Okay, so I walked out and I said, my boyfriend left the house the other day to go pick up a bag of dog food, and he came back really upset because he'd found a dead body. I was like, baby, it sounds like you just found 180 pounds of free dog food. What are you doing? Go get that. We need that.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I like it.
So that's one of my favorite jokes. I'm very proud of that joke. And then
dead body, dog food.
Dead body,
That's
dog
good
food.
stuff.
Mm-hmm. And then the second joke, I said boyfriend, and a lot of you are confused. I also thought I was a lesbian for a long time. It turned out I was just really fat. It's easy to be a lesbian if you're fat because you can eat and never get stuffed. Plus you get to lick the plate. Performing for one person is so crazy. This is so weird.
Yeah. Well, you're not performing. We're just, I guess you are. Just perform for the camera,
know,
okay?
Right?
But no, just move these lights.
Yeah. And then the third joke is there's a classic disco track called Born to Be Alive, which is a stupid title because we all were. But I heard about a guy who was not born to be alive. He was stillborn.
Oh, he's stillborn.
Stillborn. But yeah, those
were your three.
Those are my three jokes, and
they don't string together.
That's right.
In a.
It's 1 minute, which is a short amount of time, but I'm not telling a cohesive story about myself, right? It's two of them are just kind of like one-liners. And then the one about thinking I was a lesbian is autobiographical, but it doesn't connect to the other ideas in any way. And I chose those because they're all short, so I knew that I could do all three.
And get good laughs. And they've probably gotten good laughs, all of them.
And I was like, these are three of my strongest jokes. Yeah, but I think eventually I will like have minutes that I feel are more sort of cohesive and more like a showcase of what I can really do. But like right now, I don't have anything that's both feels very personal and is short. And that's, yeah, those
what did you think about the audience and their response to those jokes? Did you feel like you did good or did?
Yes. Yeah. So it was incredible. I got 5 full room laughs in those 3 jokes, which is pretty strong.
That's pretty good.
Yeah.
So now we're getting a little bit of like some jargon. There's like a full room laugh,
well,
a quarter
it's like,
room laugh.
no,
there's like a 2 people chuckle. Like, how does that work?
No, you definitely can tell whether everyone in the room, like in a crowd like that's like a couple hundred people, right? Like it's like the volume and like the wave of laughter coming from everyone feels different than it coming from some people, or like you can tell if it's kind of like just the women, or like you can just hear the difference in that like kind of laughter. And like every so often you'll have a joke that like just a few people get, and it's like that's very intimate as well, because it's like this one is just for us, you know.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was to have that hit that hard was really cool. It was I was not expecting to do that well. And so yeah, to have my first joke land really, really solidly, I had to pause for laughter to continue speaking.
Yeah.
Because yeah, like 300 people were laughing at something I said.
I mean,
was
that's
like,
dope. Yeah.
And yeah, so I got 5 laughs in 60 seconds, and yeah, that's like 1 every like 12, right? So
that's pretty good. That's real good.
And because the way that Kill Tony works, they play like a cat meowing when your 60 seconds is done. And
then the bear if you don't shut the fuck up.
So they say they warn you backstage. They're like, the cat will meow at 60 seconds. You have 5 seconds to stop talking. And the way that it worked, the way the timing flowed with the laughter, when I said the last word of stillborn, the meow sound was drowned out by the laughter. And so it looked really seamless and perfect, because it was like I ended at exactly 60 seconds and the laughter like finished out my set, you know. That was totally an accident. Just because like I couldn't anticipate how much time the laughter was going to take, and so I would have been under if they hadn't gone well, right? But because of the way that it worked, it was just like perfectly punctuated.
We'll get to the next part, but I got a bone to pick with Tony Hinchcliffe.
Okay.
And it's got to do with you because you're my friendo.
Okay.
And I got a bone, and I'm going to start beef right now because it might get some
some engagement.
You know how people start beef with people that are like way, and then they're like, okay, I'll engage with this beef to help this young entertainer out. Maybe Tony Hinchcliffe will engage with my beef. I don't mean to put this all, I'm saying the quiet part out loud, but Tony Hinchcliffe, I got serious beef and it's real, and it's not meant to get engagement at all.
No.
If that happens, even if it did happen, I'd be like even more mad. But my beef is really you related, because he made it seem like, from my perspective as an audience member, that you were a DEI hire. Because he was like, I had to go through 7 names to get to a woman, and you're the only woman I got in the bucket pool. So here, come to Madison Square Garden. Instead of like, you're a funny motherfucker that came up to the mic. I want you to come and do this thing.
Sure.
Did you get that vibe, or is that just me? Am I wrong on that?
Well, so he explicitly said that, right? So
he explicitly said that.
Yeah.
And you'd think those Republicans, like that group, would be anti DEI hires. They'd be really about meritocracy.
I don't know him personally. I can't speak to what his thoughts are.
We just gotta beef for a second, okay? Just be like, yeah, screw you. No, you can't say. You gotta be diplomatic. I don't.
The thing is, I was benefited in that specific scenario by being a woman. That is true.
Yeah.
That is undeniably true. It's explicitly true.
Because of the ratio of women to men in the bucket.
Right. But he specifically said, when he was pulling, like looking for my name, or like looking for a woman's name,
pushing them aside,
that they wanted to have a woman on the show. It was lucky that I happened to be good and do well.
Yeah.
That works out better for everyone in that scenario.
Absolutely.
Right? Because if I had done very badly, they would have probably had a good time making fun of me. But because I did very well, they get to invite me to come back.
Because
right?
you did the secret show, right?
Yeah.
What was it like, the little roast session after your minute? It didn't feel like a roast session for you, but so oftentimes it is kind of like really roasty.
I was prepared for them to be
more roasty.
And like
that's what they do.
Right. That's the structure of the show.
I mean, how you respond to the roast is kind of like.
Yeah, I was surprised. I was waiting for that a little bit, and that's. It just didn't come, and I was like,
they were kind to you.
Great. And yeah, it was very cool to have. I mean, like, Shane Gillis, Tom Segura, and Joe Rogan all tell me that I had done a good job.
Yeah, and you like shook Joe Rogan's hand at the end, right?
Yeah. Well, so they tell you, they're like, don't initiate physical contact with anyone. Like, wait for them to shake your hand.
Can you imagine the events that occurred for them to have this list of things to tell people?
I am sure what they
grabbed Joe Rogan's dick,
right? Yeah,
that led to this list of.
But yeah, all three of those men like reached out to tell me that I had done a good job, which it felt great. And I mean, we were in Rogan's club, right? So I was like, thank you so much.
Yeah,
that's so cool.
And Shane Gillis is huge right now.
Yeah.
Tom Segura was huge and probably is still huge.
He's a stadium comedian. He's huge.
Yeah.
He's very funny also.
Yeah, and he is funny. He is funny. And then there's Joe Rogan, who's just like the king here in Austin, Texas. Yeah, so that's tremendous. What was the secret show like?
So that's at Sunset Strip, which is Brian Redban's club. I was pretty nervous. I did okay, but not super well.
Is it as populated? Is it as well attended?
No, I would say it was probably like 200 people, but it's
still a lot of people.
It's still a lot of people, and it's a club show, which is good. It's like a good thing to get to do. Yeah, I was very in my head. It was the week between when we filmed and when the episode came out, and that was a pretty straight up bad week for me.
Yeah, I remember you coming to the gym
not well.
and I would talk to you and you seemed really down. This might have been before I even saw the Netflix thing.
Yeah, it would have been, yeah.
But I was like, what's going on?
Yeah.
And you were like really to yourself. You weren't talking.
Yeah.
Which was out of character for you.
Sure. Yeah.
So what was the fallout like?
So they made us sign NDAs before we went on stage to like, we're not allowed to talk about anything that happened on stage until the episode comes out. So I had 7 days where like I knew that I had been invited to this follow-up appearance at Madison Square Garden and had been like specifically told not to talk to anybody about it. So like I talked to my mom, but like I wasn't talking to anybody in the local scene about it. I was like very overwhelmed by. I kept describing it. I was like, I feel like I have been struck by lightning. You know, it's like this crazy amount of energy is like surging through my body right now. Opportunity, but also like it's the kind of energy that can kill you. You know, it's like,
we're talking stress.
Yeah.
We're talking about stress.
It was very stressful, but it's a cool thing. But I was like, my life is going to change in a way that I can't anticipate. And so I just have to wait and see what is going to happen.
Which is what you're doing on stage.
Right.
You have to be present.
Yeah.
And ride that wave.
Yeah, that's true. But yeah, I was really just like shocked. And I felt and feel scared. I don't know what is coming for me next. And that's, I'm a natural planner. I tend a little bit anxious, and I'm also like a human, and we like to kind of know what the horizon holds, you know.
Being with uncertainty is not easy for folks.
Yeah. And it's I just didn't know. I was like, you know, and I had just come back to comedy. I was 3 months back to comedy after leaving for 2 years. And like, I thought that I was, for a time, I thought that I was done for good. You know, I was like, I've never thought that I was going to pursue this as a professional career. I thought this was going to be something that I loved and was part of my life. But, you know, I never even like allowed myself to hope that I could actually do this professionally, because so many people throw our lives away chasing a comedy career, you know, and like wake up and realize.
Not just a comedy career, just chasing a dream.
I mean, yeah, like betting on the entertainment industry is a bad bet every time, you know. Like,
but the only people that get that bet back are rich people's kids or people that do it without a safety net.
Sure. Interesting. Yeah, I guess like that gives you, just like Bane, right? Like gives you the edge.
Back on something, you will fall back.
Yeah.
If you keep going, eventually something's going to hit. Or you will have lived a life that was in alignment with your dream.
Yeah.
At whatever level you were able to make it occur.
Yeah.
And if that means, I can't eat filet mignon every week, I've got to eat ramen noodles. It's like, what's really worth it for you? Is it writing it? You know, there's that person, I don't know who said this, but they're like, if you want to be a professional pianist, you don't like performing piano in front of 1,000 people. That's not what you're chasing. You like practicing piano,
right?
Because that's what you're going to do more often than not. If you love and want to be a writer, you don't love writing a best-selling novel.
Right.
You like writing.
Yeah.
You like the nuts and bolts of this exercise and this practice, and then the rest is kind of this wild world of coincidence and luck and preparation meets opportunity and people that you know and all this other stuff that really we don't have a ton of control over.
Right.
But you got to love goofing off for you.
Yeah.
Writing jokes.
Yeah.
Saying like, bringing something new to the table will definitely impact your poop jokes. You know, being present in a way that looks at the world and says, what's the next move? And is it funny? Right? Because we're all trying to discern. All of our human brains are taking in a bunch of data and saying, what's the next move for me? And you're saying, like, well, which one's kind of the funniest?
Is it funny? Yeah.
Is that move funny?
Right.
I like that.
Thanks.
That's why I want to do it. Because I think, like, just a life of more humor.
Yeah.
I mean, that's a fulfilling life.
Yeah.
Find the lulls. It's so much in my life I've been looking for whatever my internal trauma, my childhood trauma, or my self-help knot, or all these other things, which intrinsically are kind of like, they're not great.
Yeah.
They're not funny.
Right.
I mean, I can make them funny.
Sure.
But, you know, your mom being mean to you or getting abused, all those things, they're not inherently funny off the bat.
Yeah.
But that's where comedy comes in.
Yeah.
That's where the alchemist comes in. Right? Turning crap into gold.
Yeah.
I like it. I got an idea for a show for this, for Phil Phails. I'll run it by you.
Okay.
Called The Writing Room.
Okay.
Where you get comedians around just like you would see, like, imagine a camera in the writing room for The Simpsons or for South Park or for the Conan O'Brien show, of just comedians riffing and trying to find out what make each other laugh and just exploring humor in a round table discussion type of way.
Yeah.
I wonder what that would be like.
Do you think the camera would change the...
To observe things always changes it.
Right. I think that, like, you would find that it would change the way people were performing in that. Because it's
so
like,
you wouldn't get that raw.
I mean, you to observe things changes them, right?
Absolutely.
Like
there's that scientific principle, right?
Even having someone sitting in there would change the dynamic of that a little bit, you know, like even doing it for a live audience would change it.
So you don't think you could do it?
I mean, I think that you can. I think that what you will get is not going to be like pure, right? Like in the same way that
because they've got to be able to say
physics
raw
experiment. Yeah.
I mean, that's why Joe takes away phones when people go into the mothership, right? So that people can be off the cuff and say the wild stuff. And I imagine that writing room's got to be like that. They've got to be able to say the most grotesque, the most Anthony Jeselnik thing there is, and then also everything in between, and then, you know, separate the wheat from the chaff. And find out what fits the show or whatever it is.
Well, and often if you're joking around, you will find, like, you'll say something that you don't mean because you're like, oh, this is a joke that I thought of, right? Or like I'm sure that you've had this experience, because I think most people have, where you're just like, that wasn't quite it. That wasn't. It was It was too much it was too much something. It was wrong.
It's a diamond in the rough.
Yeah,
but there's something there.
So having all of that recorded and like available for consumption, I think could feel kind of vulnerable for a writer being recorded.
Yeah.
While they're trying something.
Thank you for sharing that with me.
I mean, it's up to you. I think that the product that you get will potentially be cautious in a way that, well, I think that probably the all of the people present in the room trying to write together, they'll be more deliberate in everything that they say.
Right.
So it won't actually end up being that unfiltered.
You have to get rid of that. You have to have it be unfiltered. But I think everything you're saying is true.
The only solution to that is to be like recording everything all the time, right? Which we're approaching that society on our own. And is it making any of us less anxious about how we come across? Like,
no.
Right.
Well, probably. Who knows? We're just some more anxious people in general, probably.
I think that the idea that anyone could check the tape at any time is making a lot of us like
second thought. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then
so I've been going back through and like deleting all of my old Facebook posts from like years and years ago, from like 15 years ago. Yeah. Just every day it's one of my like chores in the morning. I like will delete.
Because people are coming and say, "Who are you?" and you don't want them to see that?
Just because I don't want it there anymore. I just like but I'm like, oh, like these were thoughts I chose to share at the time.
Yeah.
And even this is like so cringy and so like,
You should love all that. That's a part of who you were.
yeah, but I don't.
I got this like tone. You should love all. Anyway, that's like.
But
It's not it's not the crafted narrative you want the world to see when they come and say, who is Serena Thiel?
I've been doing this since before I like came back to comedy. Like I just don't want that there anymore. And it's even that level of like having something out there, I find so vulnerable. And like if it was like documentary video footage of my like entire high school years, I would be like, oh my, like how do I
people have now.
Right.
Yeah.
And people, like I think that we're gonna just like really regret having all of this data to look back on and be like, am I really remembering that right, or was I
want to remember it whatever corrupt way I do remember it, and not have the real thing.
Because that's part of the story that you tell yourself about,
about who you are.
Right. And it's like, that's, some delusions are good,
Some delusions are required to undertake something big.
Right. Yes. Yeah.
It's almost delusion until the world says like, wait a second, there's actually something there.
Well, you have to delude yourself into becoming the person that you want to be. You have to be delusional enough to act like the person that you want to become.
Yeah.
And like, you have to be delusional enough to decide that you are someone who can do a handstand, to the point where you try to do a handstand until you can do it.
Until you do a handstand.
Because your rational mind knows that you don't have the ability to do that. As well it should, because you don't have the ability to do that.
But you have to step into a reality where you could, or you would never start.
Right.
I've said this or read it somewhere that to be an artist, a successful artist, is to suffer through being an imperfect version of art, to like suffer through your imperfection. Because in your mind, you know what good art is.
Right.
When you're not good.
Right.
In my mind, I've heard Led Zeppelin, and as if I was a musician, I've heard, a bunch of different albums and what I think is a perfect expression of music.
Yeah.
And then I tinker around on the piano, or I tinker around on a guitar, and I was thinking, how do I suffer through this to become that expression?
Right.
That just comes of the mining. That's the mining.
Right.
They're mining those tunes.
Yeah. Well, and so many like great artists like describe the experience of like actually writing something as like transcendent, or like as like something divine, like flowing through you. Like it's not even, it doesn't even like come out of you.
You're channeling.
It's like it comes sort of from above or somehow, and like it's it doesn't even feel like it belongs to you.
It seems religious.
Oh yeah, certainly.
Almost like meditation or something. Like you're dialing in your antenna.
Yeah. Like just like the frequency slips through.
So there's just like a channel of funny. And then some people are like, I'm actually going to dial it into a religious channel.
Sure.
I'm going to dial and then you get Course in Miracles. And then someone else is dialing it into like, I don't know, some cult.
Or like painting, or it's like it's
But it comes through you.
Mm-hmm.
Let's talk about opportunity for a little bit.
Okay.
How are you meeting this opportunity, other than just the stress stuff that you were talking about? What has changed about your life as a result of this opportunity?
Sure. So in practical terms, like I had plans to go, like I was going to leave for the summer and go work like a rock climbing job in Wyoming. And I am not going to do that anymore. I realized I was like, as soon as I got off stage, I was like, oh, my life is different now. Like I have to stay here. I have to make sure that I'm prepared to walk out in front of 20,000 people at Madison Square.
20,000 people?
20,000 people.
There were 300 people at that
I know. It's realistically, I will only be able to like physically see about 300 of them. So
but you'll know.
But I'll know. Yeah. Well, and I keep imagining like the sound of laughter that 20,000 people could make, you know?
Yeah.
That's like, it's
that full room thing you were talking about, right. That full room laugh break.
If I can achieve that, like what that will sound like and how that will hit you, you know?
That's validating.
I hope so. But yeah, it's so yeah, as soon as I walked off stage, I was like, okay, my life is different now. And I before that happened, I was never ready to commit to comedy. Like I described before, like I was never really I wasn't ready to say that like I want to pursue this as a professional thing. Like I want this to be sort of my like vocation and my calling. And part of what I mean by like feeling like I was struck by lightning is like it feels like the opportunity that hit me, so many people want, most of us don't get, and like I have to do everything I can to take advantage of it. And I can be a little bit indecisive and like commitment phobic but like once the choice is made, I'm good at focusing on a
discipline,
task.
Yeah, that part of it.
And so I was like, okay, the choice is now out of my hands. I don't have to spend any more time hemming and hawing about whether this is the right thing for me.
You committed at that point.
Well, I was like, no, somebody chose for me. Something chose for me. I was selected.
You were bucket pulled, literally.
Yes, and like.
And then.
And
you
then
performed,
right.
And were bucket pulled again.
Yeah, and so I was like, okay, like the choice is out of my hands now. So that means that like I can just without question reorient my life towards being about this. And that has been very easy. And so, yeah, I have about a little bit over 3 months. But I committed to living in Austin. I signed a lease. I move in a couple weeks.
You've been living out of your truck.
That's right.
I walked up on her house the other day and asked her to come on the show, and she's like, "I'm making a grilled cheese sandwich and talking on the phone." At the time.
Yeah, I didn't talk about that in my interview. But yeah, I assume by the time this comes out, I'll be pretty close to living in a house. So I feel safer talking about this now. But yes, I've been living in a...
Oh yeah, I didn't think about safety. People can like roll around parking lots to try to find Serena.
I tried not to give, in my interview on Kill Tony, I was like, don't give any identifying information. Because I was like, you just never...
Because you're floating out there.
Yeah, I was
Walmart
like...
parking lot or like...
But yeah, so... I've been living in a truck that's built to live in. I have solar panels. I have like a whole system.
What kind of truck is it?
It's an 09 Tacoma.
She's got a Tacoma.
Yeah. Stick shift.
# that's not a vehicle that's built to live in. Just FYI.
It sure is. It's got, oh man, my girl, she's so cool.
What's the name of your Toyota Tacoma?
She doesn't have a name.
Oh, you said my girl's so.
Yeah, that's my girl.
It's a girl, but your girl doesn't have a name.
That's right.
Okay, fine, fair enough. It's a lady, but an unknown lady.
An unknown lady.
An unnamed lady.
Yeah.
You want to name her right now?
No.
Okay. I just want to be a part of that.
I don't really believe in doing that.
Yeah. Okay. But me neither. My car's not named.
Yeah. But
people that name stuff, they believe in it.
Yeah.
They're like, you don't have a name for that? Yeah. And I'm like, no, I don't.
And like, people are oriented differently to the world, and that's like awesome. I just like, I don't. Sometimes if something like that ends up with a name, I feel like it ends up with a name because of an experience you have together, right? And you start referring to it.
Well, I just realized I wanted you to have a name. Sure. I wanted you to be a name thing person right then.
What do you think that would mean about me?
I don't know.
Interesting.
I don't have any. I guess it would just give me another breadcrumb because I was like, "What's the truck's name?" And you'd be like, Elvira, and I'd be like, "Oh, really, Elvira?"
Yeah.
But now you're like, no, I don't name it. But that gives just as much of a breadcrumb.
Sure.
It's just a different direction.
Yeah. But yeah, so I've been living in this truck because yeah, as I mentioned, I was headed down to the desert in Mexico to go rock climbing.
Potrero Chico.
And so I was very much not expecting to be committing to living in Austin
It's
and
gonna
be
be
committing
hard
to doing
living
this.
in a truck.
Yeah. It has challenges. Not paying rent's pretty cool.
Yeah.
I will say. No rent and no mortgage changes the way you can live.
Yeah, because you're working at a coffee shop.
Right. Yeah.
And you can live pretty frugally.
Yeah. Yeah.
You just pay for gas, insurance.
Yep. Things you have to pay for
food,
anyway.
Yeah.
Food. And then the biggest expense, I would say, is like you have to pay for the right to be somewhere. So
the
like
rock climbing gym.
Yeah, well, gym or
the right
like,
to
I just
be
like
somewhere.
I spend a lot of time in coffee shops, you know, because I'm just like,
so you got to buy the coffee to be there,
and it's not anywhere near as expensive as paying rent, but it's like the thing that I found really wears on me about living on the road like this is that I can't ever just go like be at home. Like I always have to be kind of semi in public.
Yeah.
And like there's nowhere that you're just allowed to be.
Unless you go get out in the woods somewhere.
Right. Which is like most often when I'm living in the truck, because I've done this a couple times before, it's because I'm doing a lot of outdoor stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And so it's like, I'll be at trailheads all the time. You know, it's like, it's easy to just have places that I can just like chill.
You're an outdoorsy chick.
Yes.
You're a nature chick.
Yeah. But because I've been living in a city in this truck, I'm like, there's nowhere I'm allowed to like just relax.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, it just like kind of wears on you. But soon that will not be the case. In a couple weeks, I'll have a home.
You have a home. Mm-hmm. You're not even gonna know what to do with it.
I know. It's already like an unimaginable amount of space.
You know what I just realized, Serena? I said you're a nature chick, and I don't think I'm the type of person that says chick to somebody. But I just tried it on just then.
Okay. And it didn't feel natural?
Not inside of me.
Okay.
You're a nature chick. You're someone who enjoys nature.
Yeah.
I went too free with it. I'm trying things.
Yeah.
I want to walk that one back.
Okay.
What are your nature things that you like to do? Nature chick just seems like another person.
Okay.
That's like, oh, you're a this chick or a that chick or a this bro or that bro. Mm-hmm. I think it's too simple.
It's not. That's not what you are.
I don't think so.
I mean, I lived in Montana on and off for 10 years, so I've done a fair few outdoor activities. I would say that like backpacking and climbing were my main ones.
Mm-hmm.
Done a little bit of river sports, paddling.
Like kayaking, rafting, stuff like that?
Yep.
What is your rock climbing like big? Do you have like something where you went to Yosemite and climbed like the half dome or the nose or like?
No, I haven't gotten any of the like major famous sends. I just like climbing.
Me
I like
too.
doing it. Yeah.
I like climbing too.
I prefer sport climbing to bouldering. And have been I was focusing on leading much more for the last like 2 years.
Mm-hmm.
And that is real scary, but also like I like the way that it puts my anxiety to use.
Yeah. It's about being present too, and being with fear.
Yeah, and just being okay with reaching for something you don't know if you can.
Yeah, and it being a little less than what you want.
Right.
Outdoor climbing, the holds are always a little bit less than what you'd like them to be.
Yeah.
Especially at like Gus Frew or in the Greenbelt.
But it's so much more dynamic. It's like anything you can touch is like the route, you know?
No, there's only a couple things that you can touch. Yeah, theoretically anything you can touch, but it's like mostly garbage except for these 3 holds.
No, I'm just
thinking about the Greenbelt.
Sure. Yeah. I haven't been out there, but it's all about.
You haven't been out to the Greenbelt?
No.
Oh man.
I'll get there. I've only been here for 4 months.
We'll go next week, dude. I go all the time.
Is that bouldering?
No.
It's ropes. Cool.
Yeah.
Cool.
You got all the harness and the helmet and all that stuff?
Yeah.
Yeah, dude, you should come out to Gus Frew or Seismic.
Okay.
There's people climbing there all the time. There's, there's good stuff. Potrero Chico is probably perfect for you because it has like 15 pitches of 5'8", right?
Right.
Like you can I don't do crazy stuff.
Cool. Yeah.
I mean, I think a 5'9" is probably the height of what I would lead.
Yeah.
I'll find someone else to lead 5'10" because I'd like to try it from
Right.
like top rope or
Yep.
cleaning. But yeah.
Yeah. Cool.
So that's the nature that's the nature
That's like
chick that you are.
that's my main that's like where my interest has sort of funneled over the years. I like being outside. I do like water a lot. And I'm a strong swimmer, but water sports are just like more expensive to get into. So I was like a broke college kid and could never buy a kayak or anything. So
yeah,
just like have never quite like funneled in that direction. Yeah. But it's fun when I get to do it.
So what changed for you was as soon as you came off that stage, you're like, I'm committing to this comedy. The universe told me.
Yeah.
It gave you enough information to say like committing is reasonable, I guess would be the way to.
Sure. I mean,
because you didn't commit for a certain reason, right? If someone would have said like, hey, I'm Adam Sandler and I want you to open up for me as I tour America, you'd be like, okay, this seems like something I could commit to. And that was that level, like Madison Square Garden, these things makes it not as crazy to commit to it, doesn't it?
Well, yeah, I get it's like it's a very concrete opportunity. It's the thing I think for me is like I am going to get a chance that everyone around me would kill for, And so it's like to do something else, like to do something other than take as much advantage of it as I possibly can and be as like be the best to not be the best version of myself walking out on that stage would be like dismissive of the opportunity that I've been offered. To do something other than be as prepared as possible would be rude. Like, and it's an opportunity. It's also a responsibility to like try to like give a fuck, and like.
Well, you give a fuck.
Well, of course.
You can't try to give a fuck. You give fucks.
Right. But like if I were to have like a casual attitude about this and be like, oh yeah, I'm going to go, it's going to be fun. It's like, that would be a disservice to like the thing that is happening. It would be, I don't know. People keep asking me if I'm nervous and I'm like, what? Of course I'm nervous. Like, that's a stupid question.
Yeah,
like,
I'm nervous.
I would be crazy not to be nervous. Yeah. I would be actively insane not to be nervous.
Nerves is what drives you towards that,
right.
that expression that you'll give in the moment, yes. right? That has you going and doing 2 sets a night or has you...
Right. Has me, like, making an effort to pursue this.
Can you find a Mr. Miyagi?
I hope so.
Remember I talked about doing a montage, a Karate Kid montage? I just thought like, well, what Karate Kid had, because he had a similar thing.
Was Mr. Miyagi.
He had to fight those people.
Cobra
Kai.
Yes.
Which is probably your generation's film stuff.
I have not seen the TV show. I've only seen the original Ralph Macchio film.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
I introduced my daughters because they were watching Cobra Kai on Netflix, and I was like, you got to watch the original, girls. And so we watched the original Karate Kid.
Yeah.
He got beaten up, right? In his skeleton mask. And then he had a date where he had to fight those people. And he found a Mr. Miyagi, waxed on, waxed off, did the montage. And then he did the crane.
Yeah.
Bada bing, bada boom.
Yeah.
Win, kill Tony. Who's your Mr. Miyagi?
I don't know yet. So since this has happened, I've had a lot of people who are above me in the comedy world reach out and just be like, hey, so excited for you, so proud of you, we're rooting for you, which has been really cool.
You say, hey, no, where do I wax on, motherfucker? Don't just call and...
Sure. That's
just
a good
give me your like excitement for me. Like, I need some tasks.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
Be in this montage.
I had somebody else recommend to me that I find a mentor and not tell them that I was trying to be their mentee.
They'll fucking know. People, you can't like secret mentor somebody. You're like, read this thing I wrote. Tell me what you think.
Did you see me do my joke?
Come out to this thing.
Yeah. So
who's reached out? Can you say any of the people? Are they like huge? Did Ron White reach out to you? Is this a safe word?
Me and Ron White go way back. No, I guess it's Okay,
I'm gonna
so
start guessing people in a second if you don't.
the two people specifically who have been like really, really cool to me. My friend Dedrick Flynn, he just moved here from Atlanta, but he's a headliner. He's way ahead of me in
Okay.
the comedy world. And he's just like he's a performer like I hope to someday be. He's
Heck yeah.
incredible.
And he's in Austin now?
He's in Austin now.
What's his name?
Dedrick Flynn.
Dedrick Flynn. Where do you catch him?
What do you mean?
Where does he perform around town?
He's like does the clubs. He's like I think the best way to find him would be at his social media.
Yeah, go to his social media. Dedrick
which
Flynn.
is at Deddy Fat Stacks on Instagram.
You like that
yeah.
handle. Deddy Fat Stacks.
Yeah.
Just say it.
But yeah, he's just like been really supportive of me, and like he's like, I'm in your corner, you know.
Yeah.
And
he could give you a couple wax on, wax off, probably.
I'm sure he could. Yeah, he's yeah, just a good man.
Who else?
And then a woman named Rachel Wolfson has also specifically been like really helpful to me, especially like the first couple weeks after this happened. She was like, because she was on Jackass, and so has some experience with like this sort of sudden onset of like of getting sort of famous in a really masculine environment, right? So like Kill Tony tends very masculine, and so does like the Jackass fan base.
He had to go through 7 pulls to get to a lady. Yeah, it's kind of masculine.
I mean, the thing about that actually is like there were probably 50 women up in the bar, like hoping, you know, like
50 women in the room.
Women.
How many men you think were in that room?
Probably like 250. Yeah, we're in the minority, but we're also in the minority in comedy in general. Because just fewer women try comedy. But yeah.
Do you think there's a reason for that?
Probably. I don't presuppose to know what it is.
Yeah.
But
yeah, okay, go ahead.
But yeah, so she has been also very specifically just like really supportive of me. And she's kind of like, yeah, I know what you're experiencing right now, which is like, I'm like, oh yes, you do, you know? So yeah, that was really calming the first, especially the first couple weeks after everything.
Is she a comedian?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And yeah, so both of them are comedians who live here locally.
Get them to Mr. Miyagi, you. I don't know how you get Mr. Miyagi. Mr. Miyagi had to feel sorry for that boy, I think, at first. Remember he came in to the room and he was like catching flies.
And he realized he doesn't have a dad. Yeah.
And he realized then he had that broken bike. Then he fixed the bike up. I know.
Yeah. It's a good movie.
It's a good movie. Yeah. Y'all go back. Watch Karate Kid,
Check
the original.
Check out Karate Kid.
Ralph Macchio.
Phil Phails at Karate Kid.
Phil does fail at Karate Kid. Anyway, but all the Mr. Miyagi's aside, R.I.P. Mr. Miyagi too. He passed away, I think.
Oh, really? That's not that surprising.
He was old in the movie.
He was old 50 years ago.
Yeah. Now he's passed on.
Yeah.
So you moved you're going to move into an apartment.
That's right.
You're putting down roots here in Austin.
That's right.
Not going to Montana.
That's right.
Are you doing more sets every night? How's that change?
Yeah, I'm certainly getting a lot more spots than I was. And yeah, I sort of expect that will continue. This is the kind of thing that tends to kind of build on itself. It snowballs. So like,
because you use this, I was on Kill Tony, so then people are like, okay, so we'll look here.
Some of that, because of the nature of Kill Tony, and especially around here, a lot of the people who are local have been on Kill Tony.
Really?
And it doesn't have, because they just like do bucket pulls, being on Kill Tony is not necessarily like the credit that a lot of people think.
I see.
Doing well on Kill Tony is different. But yeah, so next week I'm actually flying home to Montana to do some like 4 shows in 3 days, and 2 of those shows will be at the local comedy club, and so I'll get tapes at the club, and that will help me get when I'm reaching out and asking for more bookings. Like,
Oh, you need tapes of you performing.
yes, yeah,
And a bunch of people laughing.
yes, and having club tapes is better than having like a bar showcase tape, because it's just like a more professional environment to be doing stand-up in.
Do you have to set up your own equipment to do those things? Or do clubs automatically have like video cameras going?
It depends on the setup. A friend of mine, typically if they do, you would like, typically if you're not doing your own filming, you're paying someone to do the filming because it's a skill.
Yeah.
Which totally makes sense.
Makes
a friend
sense.
of mine is setting all that up for me, and
Nice.
we've got that all arranged.
So then you'll be able to use that for your social media, and you'll be able to use that for kind of a reel.
Yeah. And
Sizzle reel.
It's also like I'll be able to set up a website and sort of be able to, when I'm asking for things, to be like, here's a tape of me doing 20 minutes at this club, which is an indicator. It sets you apart from people who do not have tapes, right? It's an indicator that you are up to a certain professional standard.
You got 20 minutes? You're doing 20 minutes when you go home?
I am doing 20 minutes when I go home.
Ooh.
Yes. I actually feel pretty good about it. Yeah, a lot of, as I said before, like a lot of the stuff right now to me feels like half written, but that's just because I'm improving a lot right now.
You're a perfectionist probably too.
Yeah. And so like, I'm like, this stuff is better than I'm giving it credit for.
You got to workshop it.
And so I'll have 2 opportunities beforehand to kind of like run the 20 minutes and like move stuff around. And then I'll have 2 shows at the club to like 2 different takes of the set, basically. So I'll have some time to just like get comfortable, feel natural, have fun.
Do you writers room this stuff with other comedians, or is it just you with a pen and paper or a typewriter?
So I live in a van. I don't have a typewriter. I typically write all my own stuff.
Serena, I want to think about you with old timey with like a candlestick.
Yeah.
Old timey typewriter. Click, 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 click.
No. It's not the case.
Okay, go ahead.
Sorry. When you're going around to like the same open mic circuit, you end up like meeting a lot of this like people. And so like I have buddies that I'll be like, yeah, like what do you think about this joke, you know? And so we sort of workshop with each other in that way.
Like in the alley?
Or like on the way to the next open mic, or like sometimes people like will meet up to write together. I have a couple buddies that I do that with. But primarily it's like a solo practice. And then like I'll sort of talk something through with someone, and then like have a new draft and try that, and like, refine it from there. But yeah, so I wouldn't like do like a writer's room for stand up. I think of that as being more for like a produced
TV shows
show.
And stuff. Yeah. I'm just thinking like, what is the engine room for your stand-up? But it seems like it's solitary, as opposed to like maybe riffing a little bit with your colleagues.
Yeah, I feel like often I get ideas for jokes from just like hanging out with other comics and like joking around about something. So like the other day I was talking to a friend of mine about how as I enter my 30s, it seems like a lot of men are more interested in like emotional connections with rather than like just sexual ones, and that's like giving me a lot of like hope right now. And we started talking about, rather than watching MILF porn, they're watching mild porn, like Mother I'd Like to Date. And we were just like joking, and I was like, oh, I'm gonna use that's gonna be a bit, you know?
Like that. You don't want the dudes that just want to bone, right? You want to provide them emotional support.
I want also to be provided emotional support.
That's not how it works, Serena.
Well,
the lady nurturance, the men,
Mhm, mhm,
we club.
right. Yeah. No wonder more and more of us are staying solo.
That's it. Because we're not trained to emotionally support.
Yeah.
That's why
But
I go to men's groups, though.
oh yeah,
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah. Okay.
But yeah, so it's like,
Yeah,
but we're
mom,
mom, I'd like to date.
I'd like to date.
And like, there's something funny about like like mild, like there's something like it's so much less aggressive, right? It's like
Yeah.
less pornographic, you know.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, I'm gonna use that. That's gonna be a bit, you know. So
Yeah.
like that premise came from this conversation that I was having with my friend Chriskin the other day. But like we didn't then sit down and write the joke together.
You just got the nugget,
Yeah.
or like the planted the seed, and then you said like, maybe we'll try that on stage.
Yeah, and I just wrote it down and then we moved on. And like sometimes it'll take like years. Like I found an old note from years ago that had like this premise about Ben Franklin getting struck by lightning, and I've been like sort of working on that since I came to Austin, like just like different angles about but it's a note from years ago
With the key on the kite thing.
Yeah.
You got some lulls there. You're mining.
I hope so. Yeah, it's one version of it gets like an okay laugh sometimes, but it's like I finally figured out what I think is funny about it, and so I'm like now like, oh, excellent, like I can dive in here.
Yeah.
But that it's from I don't even remember where that came from. I just like I had it in a list of things I thought were funny from that dates back like 3 years, and so you end up with all that stuff, and like every so often you'll kind of go back through it and be like, oh yeah, like it's, you know.
I realize why I'm asking you this question.
Yeah.
It's because this week, this set of filming, I'm interviewing you and another comedian, Andrew Wagner.
Okay.
And I'm talking with Andrew Wagner. I mentioned it earlier about this dream that I have, or a desire, something I'm going to realize.
Yeah.
Writing some comedy
Right.
and going up and performing it. And then I thought, like, I wonder if you could play a role in that whole like
Sure.
unfolding as well. And then I think, like, what would it look like?
Yeah.
What would it look like for you to be a mentor for me and Andrew as well? How would we all kind of come together, and y'all would Mr. Miyagi me?
Okay.
I'm talking to you about Mr. Miyagi.
Right.
While I'm like subtly being like,
You're asking
are you
for
my
Mr.
Mr. Miyagi?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like, is that something you'd be interested in?
Yeah, I think that would actually be like, it would be a real trip to watch somebody from the very beginning.
From zero.
Right.
I've never gone up and done anything.
Right.
I mean, I've tried to make people laugh before.
Sure.
But
Emphasis on tried.
shots fired.
I'm sorry.
Shots fired.
I'm sorry.
Turned into a roast in here.
I saw an opportunity. I took it.
That's right. She's trained.
No, it's I think it's funny because like we talked a little bit before we started about like just how inexperienced I am in the scale of comedy, right? And like that is a part of this experience that has been really overwhelming. Is like I am fundamentally a very green comic.
Yeah.
And so to be performing, to be invited to come to like a Netflix taping at Madison Square Garden is crazy.
It's insane.
It's potentially unprecedented, and like I'm not ready, right? Like
you will be.
Possibly. That's up to me right now.
You will be.
Okay. Yes, Sensei.
I'm not your Mr. Miyagi.
Well, maybe not in that.
Well,
in
you
the
gotta
comedy
you have to
regard.
you gotta consciously manifest this shit, dude.
But that's the thing.
You can't be like, I may be ready.
No.
When that minute starts, you're ready.
Not maybe in the sense that like I'm leaving it up to, but it's like no. My actions for the next 3 months will determine whether I am ready, whether I am the most prepared that I could possibly be, and I have to keep that right here.
Well, your eyes on the prize. You got to keep your eyes on the prize.
No.
Yeah.
I'm not on the prize, on my behavior.
Yeah,
on what
discipline.
I am doing.
We're talking about discipline.
To make this happen.
That you're going out.
Right.
That you're spending time writing.
That I'm focusing on good, interesting
You
feedback on
also need to
collaborating with people.
get that handstand nailed in too.
I actually do think that the physical practice is a big part of
It's a
this
big
as
part
well.
of it.
Yes, yeah. I think that like people who are good at their crafts are often always also some kind of athletic, right? It's like
Yeah.
cultivating bodily health helps us cultivate creative energy and mental health and like focus.
I don't think bodily's the word for it there. Physical
Physical,
health.
sorry.
When you said bodily, I was like, you talking about
No, you're right.
flatulence or
You're
something?
right. You're right.
You talking about if they're flatulent will, bodily health. I
No,
like it. It's an interesting word, but
that's a good catch though. But yes, it's like I because if I stopped exercising to focus
oh
on
no, you got
trying
it.
to write,
It's a
I would go
well-rounded machine.
crazy.
Yeah.
And it's like I need to funnel that energy, the anxiety energy into movement so that I can use the creative, I can get through it to get to the creative
And
energy.
your yogas.
Right. And like it's so I do think that the physical part of this practice will actually be like pivotal.
It's important.
Yeah. But also that I have to write every day and I have to go
How much
out
you writing
and,
every day?
Output.
Do you have like a goal in mind? Every day I have a goal of writing this amount of time, or
No, usually what I'm doing right now is like I want a refined version of what I'm going to work on tonight, like every day. So if I'm actually not going to do any mics tonight because I have to prepare to leave town tomorrow, but like if I were doing a mic tonight, I would be like, okay, what joke am I going to work on at the mics tonight? Do I have a new version of it? And that new version might come in 20 minutes of sitting down and kind of talking it through and like listening to old recordings of it, or it might take 50 minutes. It's like it can be like a pretty big variety. The amount of time it takes is not necessarily what I focus on. It's like, do I have a couple of changes that I want to try? And then if it's something new, I'll usually try to just like talk it through a little bit and figure out what I think is funny about it. And then start from there, start working on it from there. But I've been, because I'm preparing to do these 20 minutes, I've been in a much more editing phase than writing phase.
Yeah.
Because I want to have like some things that I feel are strong enough to.
Do you ever improv up there?
Sometimes. I've been trying to do that a little bit more actually. Because it always sucks to have someone on stage who's like just trying to remember like a joke,
so
you know?
They're more as a bridge. The improv is like a bridge or something?
No, it's more like I'll be like, okay, I know what the premise of this is. I know what I think is funny about it. I know some things I want to say, but I'm just like, I'm not trying to be so structured right now. I'm just trying to like, how do I
flow to that ending?
Yeah. And like I think it's Richard Dawkins has this thing about, he's like observing ants and he sees that like the ants will start taking this really meandering path to like a food source and then bringing it back, and then slowly they figure out the most efficient way. And it's like through the scent trail that they like leave, that they like end up walking in a straight line to and fro. And my friend Alex and I actually used to talk about this in the context of jokes as well. It's like the more you say a joke, the like more you'll find the straightest path.
Yeah.
Because like your brain will just connect it in the right way, but you just have to keep trying it in that like present way, like when you're on stage.
Richard Dawkins, that's an interesting reference. He wrote A Selfish Gene.
I think it was him. He's a physicist.
Richard Dawkins, he's an atheist. He wrote The Selfish Gene.
I may have gotten him confused with.
He's one of like the 4 horsemen of the apocalypse for atheism.
Right.
Alongside.
I don't think it was Richard Dawkins.
Okay.
I think that I remembered that improperly.
That's okay.
But it's the guy I'm thinking
Super
of
nerd.
is a physicist.
Okay. He might be a physicist. But physicists tend to be more religious than the other ones because they're like, see a pattern or something.
Yeah.
I'm just making that up. May or may not be true.
Well, certainly the cause may or may not be true.
Yeah.
But yeah,
So you would be down with being my Mr. Miyagi because I'm below you a rung.
Yeah.
You're above me a rung, and Andrew might be above you.
He's
and
several rungs above me.
So we have like multiple rungage.
Yeah.
I'd have a fabric of Mr. Miyagi's. And what I like is people. I like relating and having relationships with people to be with my journey. You know that saying,
Sure.
if you want to go fast, go alone. If you want to go far, go on a group. I want to go far.
Okay.
And I want to have fun with people. So that's why I want to enroll people to be my friends. That's really one of the reasons I do this.
Sure.
Because I'm scared that I'm not cool enough for people to hang out with me without all this stuff.
Okay.
So I'm like, hey, hang out with me and you'll get this like...
And you get to talk about yourself for an hour.
Talk about yourself. Yeah. People love talking about themselves.
We sure do.
And then in that, I like sneak in like, oh, when we're friends now,
yeah.
I plant the seeds of that friendship.
Okay.
You don't even know it. Well,
okay.
Now I'm kind of making it real obvious.
You're really showing your hand here.
Yeah, my bad. So that's why I think you can think about it. You don't have to say you're on the spot now,
right?
But you'll think about it, and I'll ask you,
okay,
off camera. I'll be like, "Remember that thing I said?" And if you say no, I'll be like, "Man, she's a dick."
You'll post about it.
Post about it. No, I won't post about it. I would never do that.
No, I feel comfortable saying that. Yes, I would like to do this.
Heck yeah.
Yeah, I think it will be very interesting. It's funny because the part of me that feels very insecure about my skills and place in the comedy world is like, I'm tempted to be like, I don't know how much I'll really contribute, but it's like, no, I am infinitely more experienced than you, because zero compared to any.
And then Andrew's even more than us,
right? And he's it sounds like, based on sort of what you've told me about him, he's
and
many steps ahead
your guy,
of me.
The stats cash guy, this fat stacks. But there's this idea of like, I could see in our mind like a crashing type of montage where we like meet up at the beginning of the night, go over a couple jokes, and then like we go together to some open mics, and then like I have someone videotape your set and my set, and then like show, oh, this is what it's like going to a couple sets on a Tuesday night or something. Yeah. I'm workshopping it. Yeah. I'm trying to find ways to get content and to show a story that's fun.
Well, I think that'd be very interesting to see. Like, what is it like to try to go up your first time? And then like, I think you should prepare yourself for the reality that like your first open mic will not be a good experience, because open mics, entry-level open mics especially, tend to be kind of grueling. Like, it's most often a room full of like other comics. It'll be like 1 a.m. They'll not be listening to you. And so getting laughs at like early open mics is pretty difficult. So I think
I just got to do it. I got to suffer through it.
Right. And that's part of what filters out people who don't have this spark of wanting this in them.
Yeah. It's the weed out course.
Yeah, it's like people who are willing to suffer through that over and over and over again end up getting better enough that they don't have to be in those rooms anymore, you know?
Yeah.
But yeah, you should emotionally prepare yourself for the idea that it's like it's not going to be fun for a little while.
Not gonna be fun.
But it will be interesting to see like the process of you trying it for the first time, and maybe like pursuing it until you have one go well, and then see what that does for you.
That'd be really cool.
Yeah.
I mean, Phil Phails, I think, is about me trying things, trying to figure out, kind of like with improv, and it might be the same with stand-up. Improv has this game called the SEAL game.
Okay.
I think it's SEAL training, something like that. One person goes out of the room, and the rest of the improv group says like, okay, this is kind of what we want this person to do.
Yeah.
And then they come in not knowing anything. And when they move towards what they're supposed to be doing, everybody snaps or claps.
Yeah.
So then they're following some positive response from the group. And I imagine that's a little bit of what refinement on stage for a stand-up comic is.
Yes, yeah.
you're following the positive response, the comment, the laughs
Yeah.
from the audience.
Yeah.
And you're registering, okay, so that kind of worked for them.
Yeah.
That kind of worked for them.
The idea of like, this is what I'm supposed to be doing is interesting because it's like, yeah, like what the audience sort of wants from you.
Mm-hmm.
And also how that aligns with what you want to give them, and like how you understand the prompt that they're giving you, right? Like it's yeah, that's really interesting.
Because you're a public speaker.
Yeah.
Nuts and bolts, you're a public speaker.
Yeah.
But you want the response to be a certain. You don't want them to be like, we agree with you.
Mm-hmm. Right.
You want them, or we're angry with you, because public speaking could go a lot of different ways, and getting an emotional response is, I think, providing the audience an experience. Yeah. This is interesting because different comedians run the gamut. I'd start thinking about, really political, where it's like the lulls aren't even there, but they're making you think, like, what's his name? The Houston guy who died from cancer. I'll think
Bill Hicks.
Bill Hicks. Yeah. Who, like, part of his stand-up isn't overtly funny.
Yeah.
It's really a statement, a commentary on politics that has you thinking in a certain way. I love Bill Hicks, even though I couldn't remember his name 2 seconds ago.
Yeah.
But sometimes, I guess what I'm getting at is sometimes the public speaking is not overtly, it's not clear how funny it is.
Sure.
But it is comedy.
Yeah. Excuse me.
Yeah. No question there. No question
right.
there. So I'm excited about that. We're coming to the end of it. We didn't do the life story or anything, which means you'll have to come back.
Okay.
Or I'll invite you to come back. So we'll do that part. We just got into doing all this talking thing, and I like just following the talking and not looking at the timer.
Yeah.
But I've got my workout. I do my evening workout now.
Okay.
You don't ever go to those workouts.
No.
You could though. They're fun.
Okay.
I'll invite you to come back and do this again when you get back in town.
Okay. I would love to.
We could do a post Madison. When is the Madison Square Garden thing?
August 16th.
August 16th.
Yeah.
Could do it before then though.
A couple months, yeah.
I plan on trying to do the laugh thing.
Okay.
Before then, I'm sure.
Sure.
I need to come up with a minute or two. How much do you do at an open mic?
You would probably aim for a 3-minute spot. Yeah. But you can always do less at an open mic. Yeah. It'll be interesting.
It'll be interesting.
But yeah, just let me know about what you guys are thinking.
I will.
Yeah.
Is there anything you want to share that hasn't been shared about the opportunity you've been provided, your place in the comedy right now, or anything else?
I am excited also. Like I feel like when people are asking me about this, I have a tendency to focus on like how
on the nervous part,
overwhelmed and burdened, I guess. I feel like not burdened, but like I feel this like sort of interesting responsibility, and like I'm like, oh, like it's time to be focused and disciplined and like grip really hard, and like, but it's like this is also the coolest thing that's ever fucking happened to me.
Enjoy the ride. Enjoy the ride.
It's crazy, and I was struck by lightning, and then they told me that they're gonna strike me with lightning again.
I know,
and that's so cool.
It's so cool.
Like that's the kind. It's like if I can get strong enough in these 3 months, then like I get to have that amount of energy run through me again.
Yeah.
And like that's crazy.
You'll be an addict by then.
Well, it's like I'm gonna get the chance that everyone wants, and that's so cool.
I remember when
I'm really grateful.
One of the first times we connected after yoga, you told me you were driving to San Antonio to do some comedy.
Yeah.
And I wanted to invite you on the show after that, before I knew about any of the Netflix stuff, because I've had this idea of having comedians on and talking about comedy and then developing a set and then going up and trying this I've been doing this show for a year. That was some of the first ideas were like, I would fail at comedy, or I'd fail at writing and singing a song, or I would fail at these different modalities of entertainment.
Yeah.
And so I thought about inviting you, and I don't know why. For the last month, I've been trying to catch you after yoga class, but you always bolt.
Sorry.
Yeah. You don't have to apologize for bolting. I'm sure you got things to do. You're not like waiting around for Phil to come ask you on the show. But I'm glad we were able to do this because it's kind of like realizing something that, I wanted to do when I first met you and you shared that you were in comedy.
Yeah. I'm glad that I could be here. This has been really cool. I actually, so the first like podcast recording that I did, the host of the show, like after it, he was like, I have some feedback for you. And I was like, okay, cool. And he was like, you are very like serious and deliberate with everything that you say. And I like wish that you would be more just like off the cuff and wild. And I was like, that's just not how I present myself though. It would be really disingenuous for me to do that. Like, this is how I talk. And like, I was like, thank you for that feedback, but I'm probably just going to completely ignore you, and like, and it's not right for me and my style.
Be who you are.
And like, I like getting to have these conversations because I think that this kind of stuff is really has a potential to be very interesting, like it's like, I don't know. So I'm appreciative of the opportunity to be here.
I'm really grateful that you said yes and that we've spent this time together.
Yeah, likewise. May I say my Instagram handle real quick, just in case? I am, you can find me at shutupserena on Instagram, shut.up.serena. That's the best way to follow me if you are keen to like come see me in Austin anytime. I post about all my stuff there.
If you didn't catch that, I'm going to put all of this in the description of this video.
Thank you.
So underneath the bio that Serena's going to give me, I'll find Serena online, and it'll have that handle to Instagram or LinkedIn or to Facebook or wherever you want folks to come and find you.
Sweet.
So we're going to make sure they can find you if they're looking for you.
Sweet. But yeah, that kind of stuff actually really does help me. So if y'all don't mind, that would be great. But
like, comment, and subscribe, right?
That's right.
That's what we need.
Ring that bell, baby. But yeah, there was one other thing I was thinking of, and I don't know. Oh, I want to run this by you. So it occurred to me, one thing that I thought might be kind of fun, since I have to. I like record all of my sets anyway. Tell me what you think about this. I think that I might record or like cut together like a mini documentary of me working on my new joke or like my new minute for.
You want me to put it in the video?
Well, no. So I'm just like for my own thing to kind of release later. But like I don't have any of this yet. But like just recording the process of that and making like maybe like a 5-minute documentary about like just the evolution of the joke. What do you think that's cool?
Yeah,
cool.
That's all people want to ask. I think it's cool.
Yeah, like I
mean, it depends on how you execute it.
Sure.
Just like anything.
Yeah.
But I think any way you execute it, you're going to show people. I think being seen authentically has a value.
Yeah.
In finding your audience.
Yeah.
There's that idea that like if you're dating somebody, you really want to be you.
Yeah.
Because you want them to fall in love with you.
Right.
Otherwise you got to be some other person for the rest of your life.
You got to act like that for
I've got to have a British accent forever. Like you really want to be warts and all who you are.
Yeah.
And I think showing yourself to the world, showing some of that creative some of that like long division, showing your work.
Yeah.
Would endear yourself to people that are your audience.
Yeah. Yeah.
Potentially.
You. Yeah.
It could also not at all. I have no idea.
Sure.
Who the fuck am I?
I keep thinking about it. I was like, that would be a cool thing to have like during this process, right? The next 3 months of like deciding what to do, what to include, and then the process of refining that, and the process of getting sick of it and then falling in love with it again, and then going out there.
And if there's any way I can help you with that, just let me know.
Oh, thank you. Yeah. Appreciate that. Yeah, it keeps occurring to me. I was like, I think it would be fun to have that, for 20 years from now when I'm looking back on this experience.
Heck
just
yeah.
Like, what, but yeah.
This has been Phil Phails at Opportunity. My guest today is Serena Thiel. She's a comedian. She's looking to get struck by lightning for a second time at Madison Square Garden. Not literally,
right.
Figuratively. Y'all go find her. Go see her in Austin, Texas, or see her in Boise. Wait, what's that place in Montana?
I'll be in Bozeman next week. Probably
I don't know that I'm gonna release this by then, but find her wherever she is. Yeah. The place to start that journey, and that finding her is on her Instagram. That's probably
right. Yeah. Everything is linked through there. But yeah, thanks so much for having me.
Thank you so much. Yeah. Do you hug? Do you fist bump? Do you high five?
I do hug rather than the others.
Bam, let's hug it up. Thank you so much, man. That was really cool.